Assalamu alaikum and good morning, my dear students. Once again, welcome to the online session with the exercise of John F. Kennedy's inaugural address, which is the last lecture of this series from the same speech. So you should open page 257 and then 262 and accordingly 263. This is unit 5. Question. So first question, short question is, what idea does Kennedy say our country is based on? So the answer is John F. Kennedy's inaugural address inspired children and adults to see the importance of civic action and public service. His historic words, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country," challenge every American to contribute in some way to the public good. Basically, it means that this quotation is very much famous across the world because he inspired and he addressed his audience that do not expect from your country that the country will do for you. No, you have to do something for your country because countries are made by people. So ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. So that was a challenging words that he inspired and reawakened the hearts of those Americans who were listening to him during that time. So that was the idea which his speech was based on. Short question number 2. What two main things does Kennedy want to Congress to help achieve? So what did he want? How did he appeal to the congressmen? And he needed their help. So what was those 2 points? Answer: President Kennedy's special message to the Congress on urgent national needs. So what was those? This was a national urgency. The first one, to create new laws giving all Americans the right to be served in places which are open to public. So one demand that he asked the congressmen that to create new laws giving all Americans the right to serve in places, because there was a segregation, discrimination, there was differences, there was no law. So the black people were treated like slave and they were treated slavishly. The second point, to end segregation in public education, and their whole educational system was based on segregation. Segregation means slavery. So he asked him to help him and to assist him to demolishing and eradicating the slavery education system from American education system. Now moving to word power, demonstrate is the first word and it is a verb, demonstrate. Demonstrate means to take part in a group display of feelings toward a person or an issue. Again, demonstrate means to take part in a group display of feeling toward a person or an issue. That's called demonstrate. How would we use? Example then. The below is an example from your book. The organization member did not like the governor's idea, so they decided to demonstrate on the steps of the state capitol. From demonstrate we have the noun demonstration for some cause. The second word we have segregation. Segregation is a noun, and it means the act of separating people by racial or social segregation groups. The act of separating people by racial or social segregation groups. So the example would be, there are still many countries in which segregation exists and children of different races attend different schools. So that is a segregation, like slavishly minded people. That they have something in their mind, like you are inferior to me or I'm superior to you, this kind of mentality and this kind of class distinction and grouping within a society or in a country, that's called segregation. Or it might be about color, it might be about origin, it might be about religion. So that is called segregation. We have the third word, discrimination. Discrimination is also closely related to the word previously we discussed about, that is segregation. So discrimination is a noun which means the act of treating a person or a group of people unfairly or with prejudice. So it's like a sister word of the previously segregation. So discrimination, the act of treating a person or a group of people unfairly or with prejudice. Not fairly, with prejudice, that you have something in your mind, in your heart against someone because of something that you think that you are superior or they are inferior to you somehow. Example, boss told the male worker that discrimination against women was not allowed in the company. It might be also in the form of men against women, that they are inferior to them, so they treat them unfairly. The next word we have injustice. Injustice is a noun, unfair treatment. It also is with the same series. As you look at those words, you would come to know that these belong to the same group regarding their meaning, but they are used differently. Noun, verb, adjective, like this. Injustice, unfair treatment. It means wrong treatment. So it is an injustice to be punished without first being able to tell your side of the story. So it's injustice, that without giving any opportunity or a chance to explain, someone who should explain his or her position, and you just altogether punish someone. So that is a racial discrimination. Next word we have token. Token is an adjective having little value or effect. Having little value or effect, that is the meaning of the token, which is an adjective. So you can see here an example. Roberto's token apology didn't convince his neighbor that he was sorry. Roberto's token apology did not convince his neighbor that he was sorry. So token apology means just like a little value, a mere insignificant, just like speakingly, not real. So that is a token apology. It's not a genuine apology, like lip service. The next word we have federal. So federal is an adjective, and the meaning of federal, of or relating to the central government of the United. Here it's mean the United States. Of or relating to the central government of the United. My aunt is a federal agent who helps people apply for US citizenship. My aunt is a federal agent who helps people apply for US citizenship. So federal agent, federal means part of a central institution of a government. Answer the following question using one of the new words above. So above we have the same words: demonstrate, segregation, discrimination, injustice, token, federal. Write your answer in the spaces provided. So you would find this page on 263. Sentence number 1, which word goes with national or central government? And that we discussed earlier, that is federal. Sentence number 2, which word goes with an act of prejudice towards a group of people? That is called discrimination. So discrimination is the act of prejudice. Sentence number 3, which word goes with something almost worthless? Something almost worthless, and that is token. It means insignificant. Number 4, which word goes with a group displaying their feelings about an issue? So when they are displaying, they are showing, so that's called demonstrate. You demonstrate, you are showing, exposing that you are happy or you are unhappy. 5, which word goes with not being treated fairly? Not being treated fairly, prejudice. And number 6, which word goes with the separation of people according to their race? Separation of people according to their race is called segregation. Segregation. Now complete each sentence below using one of the words in the box. Again, the same vocabulary would be used. Demonstrate, segregation, discrimination, injustice, token, federal. Sentence number 1, Jeff knew that arguing would not change my mind, so he offered only a token resistance to my plane. A token resistance, only insignificant resistance. Resistance, like you want someone to stop doing something. Resistance. Sentence number 2, the nurses decided to demonstrate, protest in front of the hospital to protest unfair wages. So demonstrate, protest, to show protest. Sentence number 3, when you get a job, you must pay taxes to the federal government, to the central government. They are talking about United States, the American form of government. Sentence number 4, my grandfather told me that when he first came to the United States, he faced prejudice and injustice because he couldn't speak English. Number 5, when segregation was legal, African Americans were not permitted to drink from the same water fountains as white Americans. So that is a segregation. So the African Americans were treated like slaves, literally. And it's just like 1950. They're talking about in 1950s and 60s, and there were the civil wars. So there was a slavery system. Number 6, Valley suffered a serious discrimination when he was wrongly accused of stealing the bike. Homework. Dear students, revise these exercises and make your own sentences by using these words. Thank you very much and have a nice day.